Hello everybody, welcome to Claro Beauty. This is Claudia Lara, your host, and thank you very much for tuning in. So today is a special day because I finally going to try for the very first time the Blanc Chanel Summer Spring 2023 collection. I've been waiting for this for many months, like probably most of you that been waiting for it or that knew about it. So finally got here. If you want to look how I apply and how I discover these things, please keep on watching. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to order this from abroad like back in February, and I wish I had because the wait was a little bit, a little impatient, but finally got here on April 1st. So that's when I order everything and it arrived today. Now, if you want to see the video where I unbox everything, I'll link it down below. Probably that will come after this one. And why I showed it differently, because I took forever, of course, but the other one I showed because I ended up ordering some from the boutique and some from online, and they both arrive at the same time. So I just unboxed to see what the difference is, how one arrives versus the other. And then of course I opened them up and I swatched some of them. So if you want to watch that, I'll link it down below. So here we are. So where should I start? Okay, so what did I get? Let's start with the blush. The blush is look how beautiful. It's just beautiful and different. The blush apparently is one of the favorites of the collection. Everybody loves this one. And if I couldn't get anything else, I wanted the blush. Now, interestingly, is the first one I did get, even though everything else was sold out at the boutique. Later on, I got it online, obviously, and it's still available, obviously. But I did order it right away because I didn't know if it was going to be sold out right away. In any case, if you don't know, this collection came out first in Asia and then came to Canada, Europe, and for some reason delayed in the US. And if you've been with me, you know I'm Mexican. And I was in Mexico last 3 weeks. And of course, I'm not even going to mention that. It's not over there. I don't know when Mexico gets it, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. Of course, Mexicans usually get it from the US, but yeah, I don't know about other countries, but at least I know that. In Canada, it is already. Okay, so what was I going to say? Okay, so this was one of the favorites. Now, there's been a lot of comparisons about this, but let's swatch it. I'm almost scared to touch it. It's so beautiful, but we will. So let me touch it. And I'll tell you what it came with, which I appreciate. And over here is a little crowded. So that's the swatch. Look how beautiful. Wow. Everybody says how beautiful it is. I have to admit, when I saw it on video from all the people that said it was gorgeous, it looked very sparkly to me. And even a little thicker than a lot of the other formulas of this favorite, meaning it looked a little thicker, for example, than Sisley or what did they compare, like the Dior, and that was what they were comparing it to. Yet, right now that I'm seeing in live, it doesn't look as thick and as sparkly. It just looks gorgeous, but it does look powdery. See, like it really melts nice into my skin. So that's a big difference already. Now let me just finish up how this came. It came in this pouch, so I pull it out, and inside the box, which is this box, came this in the pouch and this other pouch. So 2 pouches, and this is the actual brush. I have seen this type of brushes with other collections that have came out, and they work very well. They're very nice. I don't know if this will fit. I don't think I will like it there, because let's see if it fits in here. Because the bad thing about having the brush like this is, yeah, I don't think it's gonna fit. See, it won't close. Is that then you have to carry both you know. It's not a big deal. It's a very small thing. And if you have it in your pouch, I guess you could have it in your purse. But in that note, I think I would prefer, you know, like the Dior sort of blushes where you pull it out. See, this is a blush, and you have the brush and the powder, because this way is a nice way to put it in your pocket, right? But yeah, Chanel has been doing this for a while, so oh well. Some of the highlighters and stuff, you can put the brush on the top, and I would prefer if that was the case with this one. Yet, that was my only complaint. I mean, look at the medallion. That is gorgeous. All right, so let's apply a little bit of this so we start playing. I'm gonna use this. I did this. Usually you can just do one, right? But let's see. Oh yeah, this is nice. Now, I'm not sure because there's already a lot of comparisons online. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Love it, love it. I'm so happy I got it. So this is the Dior Rosy Glow. They have compared it to this, but this apparently has a little more lilac. So just by the look of it, yeah, it has a lot. Look at, they don't even resemble the same thing. Nevertheless, I'll just swatch it a little bit next to it, but yeah. So that doesn't compare. You see this? Lilac. And this is a lot more bolder, a lot more pink. So that doesn't compare. The one that has been closer to is this Haus. This is from Lady Gaga, Rose Quartz. Look at that. So this one, I've heard that they're almost dupes, that they're very similar. Let's see. Now, when I heard that, that's why I really wanted this. This is a lot more affordable. But when I heard that they were very similar, I'm like, I have to have the Chanel. Why? Because even though they're very similar, it's Chanel, right? And the Haus one, I knew it worked for me. They were that similar, it was gonna work for me too. All right, just looking at that, this is the Haus, this is Chanel. I must say, I do see a difference. You see that? This almost has a little more peach to it. I don't know if you can see it. And this one has a lot more shine to it or reflection to it. This is the Chanel. This is the Haus. So they might be very close. No. Okay, so I have to say, this one I feel has a lot more lilac. Not the same color as this. Sorry about my boo-boo. Not the same color as this, but tending to. Perhaps if you mix this two, you will get that. But do you see the reflection from the light? This one seems a little more matte. I wouldn't say it's completely matte, but look at this. This is gorgeous. So yeah, I don't think they are the same. I think they're different, at least very different enough for me. Again, this is Haus, this is Chanel, this is the Dior. Yep. I even see a little bit of coral in there. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but not coral per se, but a little tiny bit. So I don't see it as pink and lilac. Okay, well, there you go. You have that. I love it. I haven't put it on this other side because I want to do the highlighters. So let's move on and then I'll equalize everything. So the highlighters, there were two that came out. I was very interested on the lilac because how different it looked. It is lilac. Now, I already had swatched it here on the other video. So this one is the lilac. I knew it was gonna be cool. I didn't know it was gonna be this pearly. I thought it was gonna be a little more lilac, and I was a little scared that that would not work for my skin because it would be too cool. But looking at this is perfect. That pearly shine is perfect for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply a little bit here just to see how it tights with the blush. Of course you won't see it, but I think it looks mean, it just highlights enough for it to be worthwhile. And given that, you can also you can apply it in your lid or just in the inner corner or up here. Look how beautiful. It just totally gives that lilac vibe. I love it. I really do. And so this is the one that I wanted for those reasons, different lilac color. And I'm sure this one also is going to look gorgeous with the Dior residue because it has that lilac sort of tone. You see this with that? Yeah, so I'm very happy I got this. But then when I was asking for it at the boutique that was sold out, the lady said, oh, you don't want the pink one? Kind of surprised, kind of like that one is gorgeous. I had seen swatches, but I have to say, now that I see it in live, the swatches don't give it justice. I don't know how it's going to come out in this video, but the swatches I have seen in pictures and videos of others, I think is much beautiful in person. All right, so the second one, this Draghi that I was telling you that I was not expected to get it, and I got it anyways, I think is gorgeous. I think she was right. So I'm gonna apply it on this side. And what I'm gonna do, so this is the Draghi, the pinkish. It gives it a little color already. You see a little pink in it? So this is beautiful. So what I wanted to do is apply this so you see that color there, and then I'm going to apply the other one by itself. I'm going to apply it right here. Yeah, you can't really see it. The good news is that you can see it on the swatches. So this is the pink, and I'm going to show you the swatch of both next to it, which I kind of did already, but okay, this is the pink, this is the lilac. There is a difference. You see that? Now, what I am very curious about is I own other 3 colors of Chanel. So I have the 2 new ones, and then I have these 3. This 3, this is transparent, so I'm not going to swatch that for you here. If you want to see, I have even comparison with the Westman Atelier and with others of the transparent one. But I am curious because I own Ensoleil, which is from the La Paz collection, and I own Rosé. So these two, one is a little more rose and one is a little more peach. I think have a lot more color than the ones I just got. So let's see. This one is, yeah, it's a lot more color. This one is Rosé, is this one compared to this one. You see, this one are more transparent and highlighter, and then this one had a lot more color payout. That's what I remember. So, and then the other one is Ensoleil. It's a little more peach in my opinion. The one I just showed you has a lot more rose. So this is Ensoleil. Well, they look very similar on camera. Yeah, all right. So this is a lot stronger, and this is a lot, the one I just, Ensoleil, it has a little more peach orangey. I don't know if you can tell. This is a little more rose. This is a little more peach into it. Very similar, but the tone. So when I first heard of Draghi, I thought it was going to be like this, but in pink. But if you notice, it's much lighter. And so I really like, I mean, if I had to say, I really would like the new ones for sure. I think even more than this ones. So I'm glad I got both. There you go. And they're different enough. Of course, here you can't really see. But to me, and in person, I can see the difference. So those are those 2. All right. So now I can finish my look. Where's the brush? Okay. I'm going to apply a little more blush so I can put it on the other side. I always bring it up a little bit into my eyes. Always the blush. Just to tie things together. Look how beautiful. Oh my God, yes. All right. So what I'm gonna do is, you already saw that I put the lilac on this side. I'm kind of redoing, but I just want to make sure that it translates on camera. And then I'm gonna apply the dragé, the pink, on this other side, on top of the blush and on the bottom, because you saw how I apply it. And I'm just curious if it will make a difference. I don't think the naked eye can really see a big difference, but this one just gives a little more pearly tone, and this one just gives it a little more pinkish tone. I don't know. Do you have a preference? I think when I feel a little more natural, nonchalant, I would use the lilac. And if I wanted to ramp up a little bit more, I would use the pink, because I see it a lot more here. And I just see a lot of reflection over here. Also the lilac, because of the pearly tone, might brightening this area and might pop my eyes a little bit more in that sense. And then this one, of course, the color makes it pop, but not necessarily just a highlighter. I don't know if I'm making sense. I hope I am. Okay, so there's the blush. Love it. If you like these colors, recommend it. If you thought it was too similar to the others, so what for? Well, it's similar, only that is sort of the rose or pink tones, but it's not the same. I'm very happy I got all of them. And as you, yeah. All right. So next thing, of course, if you're not very into pinks, there's only one summer. You're not going to be able to wear all three. I do. And I have, now that the Haas, I've been having it for several months. I do pull it out quite a bit. And I thought it was going to compete with the Charlotte Tilbury, the face palette that just came out also around December. And, but I pull it for different reasons and for different times. I guess the texture and the way it gets applied and the tiny little bit of shift of color makes a difference to my eyes or to me. So I do pull each of them, even though they're all pink blush, for different times, which is kind of weird, right? I mean, I guess that's why I collect makeup, because to me it makes a difference. All right, so that's that. Now, of course, very curious. By the way, what I'm wearing on my lips is the Sweet Treat 930. It's one of the balms that came out. There were two that came out. I think there were three. The first one is very transparent, but the two that came out is very pink light. There's this one, which has a lot bolder color. And from the ones that had come out before, I think this one is my favorite. So this is this one, and 930. And the ones I own is 919, My Rose. This one came out with the La Paz collection, and this one was sold out and favorite. So this one is a little more, I guess it has rose, but a little more brown. It is a little bolder. This one looks so natural and so beautiful. It was a bestseller, but I think this one gives me a little more color. And then I own the Passion Pink, and Passion Pink, yeah, definitely more pink, right? Pink. So this is in another league, because it doesn't look like just your lips sweat better. It looks pink, Passion Pink. But this other two, my Rose and this, I think I would prefer this. Anyhow, and the texture of these are a little soft, of course. They're balms. They definitely nurture your lips. But it's not like a lip oil. And it's not like a balm that you pick up at the grocery store, or, I mean, because, yeah, there's many others that feel a little more creamy or moisture or oily or moisturizing. These are more waxy, so it kind of feels dry, not drying, but waxy dry. They do feel a little more moisturizing than one of the big time favorites, like I see. I have several of these ones. This is one of my favorite, but this is the Kiss Kiss from Guerlain. And let's see what color I have here. Lavender Glow. Okay, I'll put it right here. So this is Lavender Glow. I think the texture is very similar to this, yet different, but similar. I mean, from all the other balms, I think this will be the closest. All right, that's as much as I can tell you, but look how beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna get to the eyeshadows. Of course, I'm excited about it. But just so you know, I did get one of the liquid matte lipsticks. There were two that came out. The other one, I thought it was a lot more wine or berry, kind of grape berry, which is gorgeous, but a little bolder. Most videos that I saw or Instagram, they say they prefer this one because it was just a little more pinky for summer and spring. But I didn't think it was that much softer. I thought that both colors look bold. That was my impression. And I did try this one. I swatch it. So it looks bold. Yes, more pink than the other one. The other one would have been a little more, I wouldn't say wine, but you know, that dark berry, grape berry that I'm talking about. Not dark, not like my nails, no, but just like this color, my necklace. And so I just thought that could be gorgeous more towards fall than middle of spring, summer. I might still get it. But so I ended up ordering this. I don't think it's a light color, but it's bold, but it is more in the pink. Now the good news about this, let's apply it. And I'm gonna try to apply just a tiny little bit at the beginning, is you can just tap a little and this can give just a tiny little bit more color. And because it's matte and ink, if I had applied it without the balm underneath, it will mattify and look my lips like that. And then what I would do is add the balm on top, or like I did bottom, then this, and then the balm on top. Why would I do that? Because I just like my lips, especially now in my 50s, to look kind of not totally matte and dry. I don't think this will make you look like many others that I know that are mattifying and they show your wrinkles in your lips of how drying it is. But still, it's a matte lipstick. So when I combine it with the balm, I think it's just perfection. And I do that with other also mattifying but long-lasting lipsticks, and I mix it with lipstick or with balm, and I think it's perfection. So that's what I would do. Look how beautiful it looks, natural, but a little bolder than just the balm. Probably, yeah, I can use this because in the spring, summer, I want a little more color in my lips for sure. But now let's apply it fully, not just a little tap here and there. So now it's funny because on the pictures on Instagram, when I was watching the swatches, I saw a little bit of orangey in it. Tiny little, I mean, it's not orange at all, but a little terracotta or something tending towards a more orange peachy. And even though when I apply it, it doesn't look like that, I see it. I don't know if you can. So yeah, this one is a little more of that orange, not orange, obviously it's rose, but it has pink. But I see some type of orange there. I can't explain it. But there you have it. It's beautiful. I like it more like I did at the beginning, a little less of that full lip. But I've been liking that recently, so maybe it's just me. See, I like it a little bit down, and I would again apply the balm again on top because I really like this color. And this balm has a little brown to it. So, see, I don't know, it makes a difference. I like it. Okay, so the other color, it might be on my waiting list. I think I'm gonna get it as well. Love this one's. Formula is amazing. All right, so let's get final to the eyeshadows. I'm just opening up. This look gorgeous. I have seen it so many photos, videos. Look at that. Now, why did I like this one? Of course, I was not that excited about that yellow gold, but it seems that everywhere it is. So it seems that's a good idea. I was very excited about the lilac. If you hear me talk how much I love that color. And then I was very excited about this too because the color of my eyelid naturally has a little bit towards orange. And so anytime I find this color with a little bit of brown, maybe the combination, I feel it will resemble my natural coloring. So that's always helpful to me, especially for a very natural look like this eyeshadow is going for. Shadows, you have the two brushes and they're perfect because one is for applicator and the other one resembles a brush, so you can really sort of work your eyeshadow with. Okay, so the one I've seen the most is application of, that has been surprising, the lilac in, the yellow out, and then of course this one on top. That would surprise me because I would have done the other way around. I would use this one in the inner corner, this one in the outer, and then this obviously on the crease. Wengas. This is gonna be just easier. The two applicators work, but I'm just gonna use this. So I'm gonna go with this one that I've been the most curious. I should have swatched them first. We'll swatch them. I'm just very curious by this moment. I haven't tried them. Okay, so that's my natural color. Just added a little tiny bit of the blush as you saw at the beginning. Okay, so I'm liking already that this is very soft, very, very soft. And what does that mean, very soft? Well, for some, that there's no color and you're like, ah. But for me, look at that. If I apply this only all over the lid and above, it will look like I don't have anything, but it is covering my veins, is unifying the color. It looks so natural and is making my blue eyes pop. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you're like, I don't know. Okay, look at the difference. This is without. You see this color a little stronger and then light and then some. So there's this coloration because that's how my natural coloring eyes. And here it just looks smooth, all one color. Yeah, you might think, yeah, she's wearing something because there is a difference, but very minimum. So I'm liking that already. I'm gonna apply it on this side. You'll be the judge if you see any difference as I do, the before and after. Yeah, this is very useful to me. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna apply a little bit of the gold in the inner corner like I thought of doing from the beginning. Okay, this has a little more sparkle, a little more shine. So it definitely opened up my eye. I'm not into a lot of sparkles recently. I wore some in Mexico, some Chantecaille in my lid one day that we went out for a luncheon. And my mother was like, it's too early to wear so much sparkle. I'm like, it's not that much sparkle. But to be fair, Chihuahua, where we are, is desert. And so people's makeup or people's look is a lot more bolder lips and very light makeup all over. And so no sparkles in the eyes unless it's night. I didn't care. I'm a makeup girl. And so I wore the sparkles. But yeah, probably I was the only one. It was lunchtime. I didn't think Chantecaille eyeshadow Pingoline was gonna be super duper sparkle, but yeah, apparently it was a little bit. Okay, still, I thought I would look beautiful. I mean, why not? I'll take that out of the video. Hopefully I'll remember. Okay, so there you go. I mean, just those two things. Love it. Love it. I haven't even wore the lilac. One of the reasons I bought this, but I have to admit, I like it just like this. If you feel like wearing some sparkles, because it does have sparkles. I mean, look at here. It does have sparkles. So maybe I'm not in the mood for that all the time, but it doesn't bother me. All right, let's put a little bit of the lilac. Oh, okay. What's gonna be? Oh yeah, lilac pink. Oh, this is satisfying. Yep. Very satisfying. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. It's satisfying if you want some pink in your eyelid, but it's enough. It doesn't look bad. It's just beautiful. Okay, well, the weight was definitely worth it. So I'm applying just a little bit of the first color here in my crease, all the way up and filling up kind of the inner. Because now the last touch will be this color with a little more brown, and I'm gonna use that a little bit on the outer corner just to accentuate this crease sort of area. Just helps me lift my eye a little bit. And I love it. It was worth the wait, and I just love it. The reason is, if you notice in the steps that I've been going, I could just wear that orange and not this fully, just as I did at the beginning, or just the balm, and it will give me a very natural everyday look. But if you want to add, it still gives you a very natural look, but with some color. So I really enjoying it. Remember, I have the lilac balm here and the degree here. So this is a lot more accentuating, or you can see it more with the light. This is a lot more subtle, but it brightens. I love it. And I have to say that recently I haven't been wearing a lot of mascara. I don't know, my eyes have been just a little bit sensitive. Say, here are the swatches of the eyeshadow quad. How beautiful, right? I have to say, it doesn't bother me. I like that. Of course, you can put the eyeliner and the mascara, but I like it like that. Now, of course, I will finalize the look for you. I'm not gonna apply any, looking for the mascara. I'm not gonna apply any eyeliner, but you could, and usually I would, at least a little line there, just to, that helps open up my hoodie eye. But right now I'm only gonna apply a little bit of mascara and just a tiny bit. Here's the final look. What do you guys think? I love this collection. I can't believe I waited so long, but I am so, because by the end, and I know a lot of you were like, I don't know, I heard it so much and now I'm not interested, kind of like how we were in February. I went through that as well. But now that I got it, I love it. So I even like it more than the previous year La Paz, which was one of favorites. I like this better. And there was another collection. I don't know if I can find it here. This is the 374 Allure Eclat. This quad came out a couple of years ago. This was their limited edition. Now I don't know if they still have it. Anyhow, when I got this, there was a little bit of disappointment because this one is barely in the eyes. I mean, especially this two. Of course, it has the brightening and all of that, but they're really light. And these two are very light as well. So when I heard about this quad, and everybody was saying that it was, let me put it here, that it was very barely there. Look at this. This one you can't even see. This is a strong one. So this one is the pinkish, and then there's two white ones, like I show you. So these two, they won't show on my skin. This one, you barely saw there. So the only one that shows is really that. And that didn't create a full look, I didn't think. Still, I do like it because it gives you that sparks, and that's when it was starting to come out with that very natural spark. This kind of highlighted balms were not totally strong yet, where you can use that in your eyes. So I did like this, and I did keep it, but it didn't make a big difference. So when I heard about this being so natural and light and springy, I thought it was going to be the same thing. And that's why I was like, I don't know, maybe, maybe not. But now that I have it, I do see color. Very natural, very light. Don't get me wrong, but I love it. So especially now on my looks here in Washington, which are very natural. So yeah, love this collection. Love, love, love it. So that's it for today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Please ring the bell in the right hand corner so you know when I upload new videos. And please comment down below, did you get this? Were you as excited as I was? And am I too late to the party to talk about these products? And I do have many others that I've been purchasing with the wagon, with you all, but I just haven't done the videos. Hopefully I'll upload them. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.